Check this thing out. This is a barn fresh find. Actually it didn't come from a barn, but it looks like it came from a barn. I would say it's in barn fresh condition that I picked up today from a local guy here in town, and I can't wait to put this thing into use. I'm going to set it right next to the anvil. This is an antique foot vise. I'm going to take it all apart, get it cleaned up with the angle grinder, and make it mine. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and enjoy my show. So as far as disassembly goes, this thing couldn't be any easier. You lift this jaw off, that's it on that. And you lift the foot pedal out, that's it on that. And you're left with a base. There is one piece here that I'm going to take this chalk out, or caulk, I should call it. Should pop out of there. Yeah! Perfect. Exactly what we were looking for. I'm going to go ahead and whip out the wire wheel and clean it all up. Alright, so as you probably well know, whenever you tackle a restoration project, you're definitely going to have some hurdles to tackle. I wanted to take the jaws out. This one is a floating jaw and needs to move freely, and it was seized up. And this jaw you can reverse, flip from one side to the other, and it's got different angles and facets on both sides depending on what style of work you're doing with it. This one came right off, this bolt came right out, this bolt, it turned for a second, and then it wasn't actually turning, I was just popping the head of the bolt off. Anyhow, I've got it soaked overnight, it still wouldn't budge loose. I tapped it with a hammer and tried to budge it loose, it's not going anywhere. So I've actually got this jaw chalked up in the milling machine, and I'm going to drill out the majority of the screw and see if I can turn it out then. If I still can't, then I'll have to just try to get all the screw tapped out. So unfortunately, these are 80 to 100-year-old square head screws. I'm probably not going to replace them with the correct screw. I'll probably put some grade 8 bolts in there. So anyhow, that's where we're at. Okay, so you guys saw me drill out most of it. Now I'm just chasing the threads with my tap here, and you should start seeing, yeah, so it's starting to spin out the little bit of screw that was left. Oh, there it went, it just dropped a piece. You're probably going to see some more come out here. It's really important when you're running your tap to run it both directions. That cleans out the cutting flutes and keeps your tap nice and sharp. Use fluid and just clean it up as you go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and run this tap clean through. Put some more fluid in there. Hopefully I can debride some of those threads. You don't always get this lucky. A lot of times when you go to drill your screw, if you don't get it center punched properly and you don't get a good center drill on the screw, then you might drift off and run into the sidewall, and that's never good. Alright, so here we go, and it's all cleaned up. I'm ready for a new screw. Alright guys, so yesterday I started out with the 4.5-inch angle grinder, and I took off most of the old paint and stuff like that. I didn't feel the need to show you guys all of that. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. I did want to bring you in close and show you some of the other tools that I use on a project like this when I'm cleaning up an old tool for me to use in my own shop. So first I take off the majority with the angle grinder, and then I come in with a stiff wire brush and an old broken chisel. I use the chisel for scraping, and I can get into all those areas where I wasn't able to get with the angle grinder. So I use these two tools, I get in there, I clean it all up, and then I use a heavy steel wool to get down into the pores of the cast iron. And I do plan on taking this after I get it all cleaned up. I'm going to take paste wax, put a nice coat over the entire surface, and then heat it with a heat gun to really have that wax infiltrate into the pores of the cast iron. And then I'm going to put this thing right directly into commission in the shop. One thing I did want to show you was this foot pedal has been repaired in the past. I don't know if you could see or not. I'll bring you in close here in a second so you can see it. This has a farrier's rasp that wraps around and it's been pinned. These are notorious for breaking right there. It's kind of a thin casting, so I'm actually quite pleased that this is already done. They didn't do a great job for aesthetics as far as how it looks, but hey, I'm not complaining. Like I said, I'm actually pretty happy that this is done before I got it, because I'm going to put this vise right to work. I am going to clean up the foot pedal a little bit and grind off the a little part of the lip there, but anyhow, I'm going to bring you guys in and show you what I'm doing. Thanks for watching. Boom.